I thought I was going to go get provisions today, but after emptying the water out of the cooler and realizing how much ice I still had left in there, which is good, and that I have enough in there to make one really good hearty meal, and I have rice, so I can make rice. We don't have a whole lot of solar today, but I'm going to throw my panels out and see how much charging I can get on the battery. It's kind of cloudy, so we'll see how much that draws, because I should have put those out a little earlier, but I thought I was moving. It's okay. It'll still work out just fine. And I didn't feel like moving today. I didn't feel like going to the store. I've been forward moving and getting work done, and it feels good. So I kind of want to keep on that flow while I've got it. So here's the drawing, and here's the image. I'm going to try to get a little bit of everybody into this mix. So a little baby button, a little sagebrush, a little rabbit brush, a little yucca, a little Joshua tree, and some creosote, and some mountains, and some sky. It's got it all. And I really am this excited to do this. I've had a few really good, successful little renderings of all of these guys, so I'm gonna enjoy developing it a little further, working on the really nice paper. Yeah, I love the arches. So good. I'm almost to the end of this block. I have one sheet left on the smaller block, and then I have to start cutting up my big pages to make smaller pages. But at least I still have paper. Sometimes I wake up and I gotta go to the bathroom. I haven't even gotten out of bed yet. And look who's already usurped my spot. She's like, what do you mean yours? I am the queen. I know. I get this look on my face every time I have to pack up to do anything. I know. It's just part of my daily life. Although, no, I'm trying to make it less daily. So I set up the tent so that I don't have to worry about whether or not I'm going to have a spot when I come back from my errands, because that does bring a certain amount of anxiety, right? Because I've had enough occasions where I've gotten back to where I was parked and someone else got it. And when you're parking on BLM, there's really nothing you can do about that. And it's okay. It's part of the crapshoot. But a friend gave me an old tent, and I'm using that as a place marker. Cross your fingers that when I come back, it's all still here. I'm sure it will be. I'm worrying for nothing. But, so there's nothing of value in the tent other than no, there's nothing of value in the tent except for the tent itself. And that was a gift. So, and it was a freebie. It's a beaten up tent, so it's viable. Except for maybe when it rains. But as a place marker, it should do the job. Yay, we made it back. And my placeholder worked fantastic. Really didn't need to worry or doubt about it. But, I think we all have that, negative vision board that pops up into our heads as soon as we have, when we haven't done something, we have to hope that something works for us. And it's like, oh no, someone's going to come in and steal your spot. Why? No, they're not. And no one did. And I got back here, 2.5 hours after I left, and my spot was still here. So was all my stuff that I left behind. And so I have a little more confidence this time, for the next time that I do that. Yeah. So I'm really pleased that worked. Somebody is hunting rocks. It makes me so happy to see her stalking and chasing pebbles and sticks. And she brought me a little stick. You okay, Bean? Was it just a little embarrassing that you couldn't make the jump? She's gonna go hang out in her little corner of shame behind the tire while she recoups her less than graceful attempt. Oh, is that your stick? Oh, did you find your stick? Oh, there was a fly. Yes. Oh, did you find where's your stick? Yes? You gonna bring it in, or you just gonna keep it down there? Kitten in the wild. So I was just rolling up a piece of paper towel, you know, my hands were busy. And she slipped right past me before I had a chance to grab her harness, and she was out the door. And she went for a good hop, hop, hop through the sage, and then she ran right back to the van after like 10 minutes of hopping around in the sage. She ran right back into the van, and then as soon as I got within 10 feet of the van, she bolted again. And this time, she went the other way, which was a little easier for me. And she saw a juniper tree she could not resist and treed herself. Thank goodness they are short trees. Because she was like, I'm in the tree, you can't get me. And then she realized how high she was, and she was thinking about jumping to get out of the tree, to get away from me, to go play some more. And, you know, she was too high. She had to think about it too much. She wasn't that high, just higher than she's used to jumping off of. And so she thought twice about it, which was just enough time for me to grab her. Oh. And now she's just lounging in the dirt. Is that right, kitten? Give mommy a small heart attack. And then you come back and just lounge. You're like, I got to hop around. I'm happy. Should have seen it coming. She had that look in her eye. That wild and crazy, I'm gonna attack everything and anything that moves look in her eye. She came in to use the litter box and faked me out. But she does love being here. She really does. And I wish I could just let her roam and play. But it's too dangerous for her. You know, there's too much out there that could hurt her. Whether she eats something or gets bitten by something or whatever. And she's a foreign animal in this environment, and I don't like the idea of her wandering around in it, just in case. Just so enamored by this light. Oh. Wow. So excited because the past bunch of nights that I've been at this spot have been uneventful sunsets, you know, that just drop behind the mountain and poof, too much cloud cover, not enough light reflection. But tonight there's a nice gap between the clouds and the sun, which means we might get a show. I don't want to, you know, get carried away or anything. Every time I say that, it fizzles. And I don't want no fizzling. But The sky sure is pretty right now. I suppose I could get all esoteric about, you know, the symbolism of the clouds and the parting of the clouds and the mountains and all of that stuff, right? And there is a whole lot of stuff there. Don't get me wrong, because I can be philosophical and go there for sure. But, you know, the reality is it's just a little 3-letter word. Have you guessed it yet? One more pan of those gorgeous clouds that I have tonight. Oh, just so ridiculously beautiful. Oh, yes, that is my little tent. So I just went to practice my guitar. I've had this happen a couple times now, and loosening the strings and retightening them helped, but this time it did not. So the G and the A are now just a constant buzz when I put the capo on. They never were before. I did put a request out to a friend of mine who's a musician in the Las Vegas area to see if he knows a guitar tech who's willing to work on trade and can maybe help me fix this problem. So I just got a message from my friend, and he can look at it, which is fantastic. I know nothing has happened yet, but just knowing that there's a solution in sight makes all the difference in the world. I'm back, but in a different location again this time. So back in the Desert Wildlife Refuge. I had to pick up some mail, and I'm bringing my guitar to a friend's on Saturday, and today's Thursday. Going back to Laurel Canyon was just a little bit more gas than I was willing to spend. So I decided to come to the Desert Wildlife Refuge because it's a much slower incline, I guess, coming out here, but I do spend less gas coming here. So the highway is much flatter. I appreciate that. Anyway, so, but this is what I like. I come back here. I didn't go all the way up to Gas Peak because, again, saving gas. So, but, can you see it? I think so. I did this drawing, right, of Gas Peak, one of the Joshua trees. It's an image I took. I took the photograph. I wanted to kind of come back and look at the mountain range again, because I didn't like the way I drew it out, and there's something about perspective that changes things, and I kind of want the mountains maybe to be a little bit bigger than they are. So we'll see. I want to wait until the sun starts to go down to match the light as close as I can. So yeah, this is what I'm working toward. It's not going to be exactly the same as being up there, but I am a little bit more up in elevation. So I'm kind of coming up the hillside, so I might be able to capture some of the similar light on the mountain, or maybe something better. I did think I'd see a little bit more green at this point. You know, it'd been a week and a half. So, or a week. I don't know. But there was so much more green up in Laurel Canyon. But yeah, I mean, it's a totally different world. And it's a half hour, 45, no, it was more than that. It was 50, no, right. It took like an hour and a half, an hour and 40 minutes. Because I had to go to Walmart before I went to, and the gas station and stuff before I went up the mountain. And I'm really excited that I got to, because it's a really, really beautiful spot. And I met some other camper and went for a short hike, and I'll include some of those images here. And I had a wonderful time. It was nice. Got to share a meal. It's nice to get to do that once in a while. And I love meeting new people on the road. You know? So that's part of the fun of this. And I admit that sometimes I love camping where I love camping where there's no one. You know, what can I say? The desert really becomes me. Ooh, Ed, are you gonna go outside? She's gone out to check out this gorgeous sunrise. Oh, I'm home. Right? I keep coming back to this place. It's just beautiful. Oh. And I'm getting to view the mountain at a different angle. Fairy tales can come true. It can happen to you if you're young at heart. Yeah, I don't know where that came from. It must be the Vegas spirit, right? Like, the music of Vegas is coming. Oozing out into the desert. I don't know why. Why did I say Vegas? Because wasn't that Dean Martin who sang that? So, I just looked it up. Frank Sinatra. Of course. I just have a block against Frank Sinatra. I don't know. I sing stuff that he performed all the time. But see, he wasn't the original performer necessarily either. A lot of those things are songs that I listened to that were sung by Ella, because usually Ella is where I get my music from. But yeah, so here I am outside Vegas, and my guitar is not working, and you know what? My friend's going to look at it tomorrow. So I'm trying my best not to think about it. Doing my best. Sorry. I am doing my best to change my language. Okay. I need to make more coffee, obviously, because I am rambling. Put the awning up today. And I'm cooking in the rice cooker to try to keep the temperature down in the van. And it's all working beautifully. The wind is starting to kick up a little bit more, so I may have to take the awning down sooner than later, but I'm gonna check the wind gusts and see where it's at and what it's gonna increase to and when, and yada 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 yada. And I'll take it down when it gets when it starts doing the hop, you know. It's already hopped a couple times, but nothing that I couldn't go out and just readjust. And no, I didn't stake it because there's limestone under here, and my stakes, I just don't want to ruin them, so I tie it to gallon jugs of water. Simple as that. Nugget and I are out this evening to watch the sunset. It was just a beautiful day today. A little warm. Did a little work on the new painting. Did a little work in the book. Yeah, just took it easy. It got a little hot, but I put the awning up, as you saw. And yeah, I hope I shot enough. I mean, I don't think I shot very much. It just was like out the van doors. But I was working on that creosote over my shoulder there. And yeah, so just doing a actually pretty thorough sketch of it. Good morning. I love waking up in the desert, especially when the sunrise looks like that, right? Wow. Right? And this one's so excited to be out so early. It's actually warm enough. And the wind isn't gusting. Finding the happy medium. Well, today I take the guitar to my friend in hopes that he can help me at least fix what's happening. It's just progressively getting worse. And maybe it's just the guitar itself. And everybody's just done little somethings to help it last longer. I don't know. I have to wait and see. Look at that. Right? Isn't that amazing? As it keeps getting a little bit more dramatic, I don't want to go in. But I gotta start packing up my stuff. Gotta make breakfast first. So, like, but look how beautiful this is. And I still have one more piece of mail to get before, and my friend is coming back into town next week. So, like, I'll be moving on from Vegas before the end of April. I'll be moving up toward, I think I'm heading to Utah. I don't know. I'm just going to leave it up in the air right now. I've been feeling pulled in multiple directions. So until I can discern which one's the distraction and which one is the direction, because that's kind of what it is, right? It's not a crapshoot. I do think, and you just take a beat to see which way I'm supposed to be going. Well, thanks for joining me today, everyone. If you'd like to contribute to my journey, all the links are below in the description, and it would truly be appreciated. If you like the video, you can give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And we will see you next time. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.